Alright, few days back, my wife showed me this animation on Pinterest and she asked me what would be my approach if I have to do this in After Effects. So it's from an artist called Sasha on Pinterest, whoever he or she is. Fantastic work. Yeah, judging from these objects, it's clearly 3D. The purpose of this tutorial is not to get the exact visual quality here, but to explain how to set up a loop for something like this. It's a bit of a challenge, but not that challenging if you do it systematically. So let's take a look. How can we do that in After Effects? I'll start with a blank scene file. Let's create a new composition. Go to composition, new composition, main loop or main environment or something. This would be our final animation, and it's going to be 2 seconds long, actually 2.1. all right, I'll explain you why later. So the first thing to do is to create a triangle. Take the star tool from here, just double click on it and go to polygon content. Maybe we'll take the fill away and 35 or something for the stroke width, and the polystar points should be 3. The stroke color should be like, and press A on the keyboard to get the anchor. Let's move it down like that, turn it to 3D. Now I have to duplicate this along the Z axis. So what you have to do, let's duplicate it, position, let's do it like 2000, and duplicate again, position 4000, and I have to repeat myself like 70 times. Well, I have a way of automating it. You just have to follow the link in the description, and you can go to this website right here. You don't have to give your email address or anything, just click on download and it'll download. Installation instructions are right here. You just have to paste the JSX bin file in your support file, the script UI panels folder, and that's it. Once you do that, you'll have this tool like the Demograph Mastery toolbox. This toolbox, there are several tools here that are actually super useful for me. Now you can use them too. So what we need is this tool, make extrusions. Let's type -2000, and we need like 60 copies because we need the objects to be 2000 units apart. Let's call make extrusion. It's called make extrusion because this tool was originally made for creating the extruded shapes inside After Effects, but it serves well for this purpose as well. So let's close it down. So we have a tunnel right here now, and let's go to layer, new, camera. All right, and let's move the point of interest away from the camera a little bit, and now we have to animate the camera. But the thing about making a loop is that you have to have the beginning frame and the ending frame to be identical. That's what you would think right off the bat, but it's not identical. That's why I left an extra frame in the composition. Composition is now 2 seconds and 1 frame long. Why I did that is because, let me actually save out this frame first. Let's Alt Control S. Let's choose PNG and choose best settings, and save it to, I'm going to save it to my desktop, by the way. Okay, 01, render, and I'm going to import it. Let's right click on it and apply a fill on it. All right, let's go to the final frame, and let's animate the camera. Let's move it forward. All right, 1 triangle away. Let's do 2 triangles. All right, let's exactly match this red triangle. Let's exactly match it as much as we can. All right, that's about that. Okay, and we no longer need this. Let's delete it. But now the ending frame has this this triangle, which is closer to the camera, but in the beginning frame we didn't have it. So let's duplicate that that first frame right here at the bottom of the layer stack and press P minus 2000. So what we did here is that all right, matching the first and the last frames exactly as it is. Let's move the time slider. Now this is our extra frame. Let's move the time slider forward one frame and press N on the keyboard to change the working area. And let's make a ramp preview. Now you can see it's looping, perfectly looping. Why we had this extra frame is because this last frame and the first frame is now identical. That's we match the last frame to the first frame, and there are two frames. When you're playing the loop, the problem is that every frame has a change, but this first frame and the last frame, they play back to back in the loop, and those two frames are identical. And there are two frames. There is a one frame that is a hold frame, so that will make a little jump. If you can see it, it's barely visible, but it's there. It's just one frame, but the loop is not perfect without that. With that, so let's trim that frame away by eliminating the last frame. We did that by dragging the time slider one frame forward and pressing N to set the work area, like so. All right, now that our basic loop is complete, now let's pre-compose all this. Select all, pre-compose, main tries, whatever. All right, let's make it 3D and collapse transformations. Next thing what I have to do is that now we have this tunnel. They are like 2000 units apart, so we're going to make a block right here, which I can duplicate like what I did here, like I did to these triangles. I'm going to make 1 unit of environment here and duplicate it like 60-70 times once again. So let's do that now. Let's actually create a new solid. Go to solid, and this time let's make this solid like width like 8000, and the height is like, get that right, 2000. Let's make it white for now. And let's make it 3D. Rotate it in x-axis 90 and go to the front view. Let's position it right here. Let's not touch the triangle. Let's move it like there. All right. And go to the top view. Now we'll see our composition right here, and you need to move it right there. That means like 1000. Remember, it's 2000. The units are the triangles are like 2000 units apart, and this side is 2000 pixels. So that's why it perfectly matches right here. That's why I moved it 1000. I moved it half its width, so it's perfectly placed between these two triangles. Now that's it. This will be our primary duplicatable unit of environment. Now let's go to the active camera and pre-compose this. Go to layer, pre-compose, move all attributes there, and the let's call it block, environment block. All right, even that one, let's make it 3D and collapse transformations. right there. This is the one I'm going to work with now. All right, let's create a new viewer, and I want to see the main environment in this new viewer, and let's undock it. So anything I change here will be updated right here. All right, perfect. Now let's work on this. Let's duplicate this layer and right click on it and apply effect, fill. Let's make it yeah, something like that, and actually go to solid settings while that layer is being selected, and let's change this to like maybe like 2000. Let's see what happens. On second thought, 2600 or so. Okay, seems fine. Let's duplicate that one as well, and for this let's change it to something like that. And here grab the rectangle tool and draw a mask like this. Let's duplicate it. So move it to the other side. Use your arrow keys and get the title safe action. Let's duplicate this and let's move this mask to the center. You don't have to be perfect, just you can eyeball it. Here, all right, I'm going to match it here, and I'm going to do another one there, and we'll move it to the other corner of the triangle. You see how easy it is? Because we have this viewer, otherwise we'll have to switch to this viewer and do that, adjust it there, and see how it goes there, and adjust it here and go back and forth. That won't work. All right, let's move it right there. Okay, that's it. Now let's do our grid for this layer right here. Let's right click on this layer, go to effects, generate grid, and let's make the grid a bit of a light color. Width and height. I'm at the quarter quality, that's why you can't see it that much. Okay, actually let's hide this so we can see it clear. Maybe border size as 7. All right, that looks good. Now let's actually pre-compose this one as well. Pre-compose, move all, oh no, leave all attributes here. Let's call it grid, and I'm going to cut this effect, go inside this layer and paste it right there. Okay, I did that because I need to mask them out here. Let's draw a mask, one mask right here, and invert it. All right, seems fine. Now let's duplicate this one as well and press M on the keyboard to reveal the mask, and let's move it up. We need a grid on top of the ceiling as well. Now what we're doing here is making that a duplicatable block. That's what I'm doing. All right, seems fine. And yeah, now let's actually, it's a good time to duplicate everything. Let's go to the main environment, and for the block, let's actually duplicate it. We need a one closer to the camera because this gap here. Let's move it. You know what the value is? -2000. Yeah, that will exactly match there. let's change this to something like orange or so. Let's change the label here to like blue. All right, now this one I'm going to use the tool again. Minus 2000 and like I don't know, maybe like 100 times. Make extrusion, and look at that, it's been extruded into the distance. Now actually let's create those abstract looking mountains for these two in these two sides. So for that, let's create a new composition. Mountains. Well, what you can do here is something very simple. Let's make it pretty dark purple, and let's draw something like this. You don't have to be very perfect. Okay, let's duplicate it a couple of times. Right click, go to effects, generate fill, and let's make it a little lighter color. Copy, paste, make it a little even more lighter, maybe. Change into add mode, press F. Let's do that. I'm not applying any effects right here. You could have done it easily with a glow effect. I'm not doing it because you know how many times I have duplicated this, right? So it's going to be pretty heavy for the renderer. Actually what I have here is I have created something like this, and what you have to do is that you have to create this and save it out as a PNG file like we did here, and let's re-import it. The glow mountains, that's what I call it. Okay, this one right here, it's exactly like what I've done here. All right, let's actually drag that glow mountain right here, and go to a custom view, make it 3D, and press A on the keyboard to reveal the anchor point attribute. Maybe let's go to the front view. All right, let's move it like that, and let's go to the custom view again, and let's place it arbitrarily right here, like all right, let's go back to the front view. I forgot to do that. Let's move it down here to the floor level, go to the custom view, and let's place it like that. And let's duplicate it, place it right here. Maybe you can scale it -100, duplicate it, make sure that you stay within the box, right? So let's move it forward. Maybe you can arbitrarily scale them because we need some variation. All right, let's duplicate them again because we need some mountains on the other side as well. Let's move it all there. Yeah, this is how it is, but still it looks a bit repetitive right here. There would be some repetition because we have duplicated the same thing like 100 times. Repetition is actually unavoidable because we are making a loop. So here's the thing, you can art direct it here because you have another view here that is updating when you make changes here. It's very easy to do so. Maybe here. But it looks like these objects are a bit lighter, and takes the attention away from the center. So let's actually close this viewer now. We don't need it anymore. Let's make them darker. How to do that? Actually, I have no idea. Let's do it with a tint. Go to color correction, tint. Alright, something like that. Just copy that. Paste onto everything. Alright, this is how the looping animation is going to look like. Next, what the hard part is over. Now what we have to do is to beautify this. Let's actually stop the animation. Pre-compose this. Go to layer pre-compose, by the way. And the environment. Let's call it the environment. Now let's actually apply a glow for these triangles. 1.5 maybe, 35. I wouldn't spend much time here. Let's actually make a new solid. Let's call it lens flare. Let's apply, go to effects. I'm going to use the Video Copilot's optical flares on transparent. In this case, I'm not going to use a fancy lens flare over everything. I just need a bit of an environment, that's all, to give some depth. So let's hide all of this. I'm going to use a glow element. That's all. That one right there. Like that. Let's use alright, something like that. And let's duplicate this one as well. I'm not going to animate anything because if I animate, even that animation has to loop. That's why I'm not animating anything. Let's do a blue color on that side, maybe. Let's see how the final thing is going to look like. Alright, that's how you would make a looping animation inside After Effects. The key is to approach it systematically, and you've seen how we have made the animation. We've created the environment block that we can duplicate multiple times. That's how we have created it. So in near future, maybe I'll take it to the next level and create something more sophisticated. Well, if you enjoyed the video, just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another tutorial really soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.